Well, in March 1998, while I was master, I asked the court to support the process to enable our company to be granted arms by the College of Arms, as the company was then only one of 8 only livery companies whose arms had not been formally granted, meaning that our coat of arms could be used by any person or persons or company as their own. However, this was not unanimously supported, the major cost being potential, the cost involved. Anyway, exactly 10 years later, March 2008, Bill Cook, the master, asked me to establish the level of interest amongst members of the court for our company to be granted the grant of arms. Being the only one company at that time who hadn't got a grant, and there were about 120 livery companies, so we were pretty poor. So I wrote to each member of the court, and all replied, each giving strong support and donation pledges. So in June, the court approved my writing to all members of our livery, not only to seek views, but interest and donations, but also to invite any members who wish to join a working group to achieve the granting of arms. In September 2008, I could tell the court that the result of those letters had raised £12,700 had been donated from the members, which was happily slightly in excess of the quote from the College of Arms to do the work. Several liverymen were shocked that the company didn't already hold a grant of arms, and 3 liverymen had asked to participate directly as members of the working group, which is super. Okay, Paul, we'll switch over. Can we switch now? Is it? Do I hit that? Screen. Okay, hit that.
Yep.
Right, this comes right up here then, does it?
Click share.
Do I bring this one up?
Yeah, you bring that one up.
Okay, now I want to fit the whole screen. So.
So click play.
Click play. Will that fill the whole screen?
Yeah,
okay. Right, so we're there. Okay, can everybody hear me? I hope. So
yep, we can hear you. We can.
You can, good, okay. So hit, yeah, that's it, right. No, that's just talking about what I've talked about. That wasn't what I wanted to see.
Keep hitting through.
Keep
hitting through.
I can't. Okay, yeah. Right, sorry about that. Right, so here's the list of the most important members for this evening. These are the consultative group members: Maria, Edgar, Trevor, Joanna, Barbara, Raymond, Michael, Anthony, John Thorpe, and myself. I was very honoured to be asked to be the chairman of. And the total number of membership years of that group, including myself, exceeded 250 years of livery membership, which is pretty good going, I thought. So whilst the grant of arms could be given against the original arms, the group decided, here are the original arms, the group decided to fully reconsider the design, whilst also agreeing the basic content of the original shield remain apart from any future design. It's quite striking, that, isn't it? William Hunt, Windsor Herald at the College of Arms, was briefed by the group with a list of some 67 different areas and applications of the then present use of glass. The group later met with William at its first meeting, when his first draft sketch was tabled as a good basis for going forward. So we'll now look in detail at each item that comprises the arms. So this is the mirror. This is shown as an embroidered badge, which originally was a small 2-inch by 2-inch hand mirror. So guess who started the cosmetics industry? That's right. The mirror has been increased in size on the shield to represent the broader applications in use today. For example, this picture shows another size, the mountain-top telescope with a 20-meter diameter concave mirror. Mirrors used to be ground into shape for such use. However, for this one, a circular furnace, 20 meters diameter, was built on the site, rotated at constant day slow speed, so that the gentle calculated centrifugal force caused the molten glass to form an exact concave curve that required no grinding at all. So that's the range of what glass does with mirrors. Moving to the jug, thought originally to be of glass or even stone, but shaped here as though it's made of metal or silver, we think, has been reshaped to represent the more everyday use of a sensible shape, and can be a ceramic product or a glass product, whatever. We left it looking ceramic in order to emphasize the centerpiece of the shield, which you'll see in a moment. Other glass products that hold liquids, of course, being the diverse glass container industry. How's that? That was a typical shot. Rosie went to the cupboard and got the bottles out that we're going to have for lunch that day, and we took a quick photograph. The original drinking glass and the center of the shield was reshaped to more modern proportions, with both twisted stems now supporting the base of the larger glass bowl. It has engraving added, and that is a highly crafted skill of engraving, as Michael knows, that exists today. This is a wonderfully engraved bowl. Michael might be able to name it at some point, but I've seen it and it's absolutely stunning. It's a wonderful craft. So we included that on the glass. Now going to the helm or the helmet, you can see that it was crossed out by the College of Arms. It has always been the wrong one. It's been embarrassing. So it's replaced by the heraldically correct type and size. And there it is. So we've now got the new pieces on the shield, 3 pieces. We've got the correct helmet. And we start to look a bit later on at the Discordia Frangibur wording, which we'll explain as we go. Now the globe here represents the global making of glass everywhere and marketing of glass everywhere, and including special products such as self-cleaning glass, precision technical products in science and engineering, and leisure products, those such as fishing rods, tennis rackets, golf clubs, are all composite based, and also fiber optics are used in medical and other products. So it's a good spread. So oceans on the globe, and we're associated obviously with boating, where the use of fiberglass, GRP, carbon fiber ceramic and other composites are the norm. High-tech fabric, woven using the same glass materials, is used to make leading-edge sails and other items. The company has had, as you know, for many years also, direct links to Her Majesty's submarine, and this was the arms of Scepter. And there she is on exercises, bless her. Moving to global communications, this shows the layout of the present fiber optic links across the globe in reality. So we thought, fine, that's pretty important. So we put that on our own globe on the coat of arms. Back to the Latin motto. It's a 17th century original and translate as discord weakens. But those in the industry itself know that the real meaning is without breakage, we're broke. In the center of the Latin saying, we show a string of 5 glass beads on an unseen glass fiber thread. The 3 larger beads show their use in ancient times that indicated an individual's status, religion, or wealth. And also they were used before money became the fashion. A certain size of beads were used for money. The 2 smaller beads show the present use in both decoration and fashion. So moving on, The sun reflects the company's pursuit of enlightenment through various activities. And here we go for the education, of course, Glass in Society. And the work we do at schools. This one, I think, in Plymouth, we'd helped to make model boats. We raise money, of course, for charities. We have our own charities to support, which is very important. And we encourage glass artists to do even more and better things if they possibly could by offering prizes and so on. The results of that have been absolutely stunning. This is one of my favorites. I don't know if they make it, but they do. And also encouraging music awards, etc. So where are we now? Well, here we are. The sun has landed and we're gradually building up the picture. Moving on to flight and the use of glass in aircraft manufacture and fiber optics in flight control. Very recently, the company has also formed a link with the RAF. Glass and ceramic materials are used in communication satellites and space programs. And of course, our arms, one looks down on the globe as if from outer space. Flight also reminds us of birds. This one coming into land. Oh, it's landed. Oh, that's good. They were the ravens. And this, in fact, is the lead crystal glass that George Ravenscroft made with the help of the company. And to protect its their monopoly, the company permitted Ravenscroft to use the raven's head from his own bearings as a mark or seal on glasses that were marketed and sold by our company. Didn't know that until his death in 1681. His method of adding lead oxide into manufacturing glass became used in all glass making centres of England in the making of lead crystal glass, putting England at the head of the world market. It's beautiful stuff. I do love it dearly. So here we go. Watch the feet. Oh, there we go. Did you see that quickly? Probably didn't. See if we can go back. I don't know if we can go back or not. Yes, we can. So the ravens have landed. We're going to get to work. So up there's their feet. They start to go. And up there we go. Hooray! They work properly. So here they are doing their job as supporters for the whole of the shield. The court meeting of December 2008 was shown progress to date. At that time, the group were unanimous on every content except the crest. And we couldn't agree on that. It didn't matter at that time. Only at the second full meeting of the group in January 2009, attended by the then master Robin Arquilus, did the group unanimously agree the final design of the arms. This being made possible by the late past master John Thorpe's research during the Christmas break. John rediscovered the crest of Sir Robert Mansell, a pioneer industrialist in the glass industry. He employed 4,000 people at his one factory in Tyneside. He was really quite an entrepreneur. And he was also a founder member of our company. His name appears on our first charter, even prior to the one presented to and finally granted by Charles II. The Society of Glass Technology quotes, "No one person has had such an influence on all sides of the British glass industry than Sir Robert Mansell." And this is his family crest. Seeing the flames, that was it. All the working members almost simultaneously saw the flames needed to produce glass for any application. Hence the drafts which then were made. We couldn't obviously copy the actual flame, but we wanted to use the flame because that's how you got glass, and so we put it in the furnace. And here we go. Quite the flames, and in the end, that is what it then looked like, with the crest in the right place, and everything was really, really good. Everyone was happy about it. So we all said phew, and we passed the drafts which had to be finalised into a master painting of this agreed design to be held in the safe keeping of the College of Arms. I don't know if anybody knows the college, but it's a lovely place and they're great people. If you have an opportunity to get in there, go and have a look around. So we put it there for safekeeping. About 3 weeks after the working group had decided what the arms would be. There's only one problem. They were on the arms were painted frames, whereas 3 weeks later, there was a fire in the actual building itself. On the floor where our arms were designed was left, was in theory in safe hands. By good luck only, nothing was damaged. And so we had a good quick escape, and we can now look back and see that we started there and we came to that, which, as you all would recognize, is the final coat of arms. And that was approved unanimously by the court in March 2009. So thanks once more to the hard-working consultative group. They did the job, start to finish in 3 months, during which time emails had flown between members on an almost daily basis. Prior to this, the College of Arms had never known the design or redesign take less than a couple of years. So we set another precedent. We are good, aren't we? Also attending were the following. You'll recognise them, I'm sure. And on the left, of course, is the Windsor Herald, William Hunt, of the College of Arms, who'd worked with the consultative group throughout and done a splendid supportive job. And next is Sir Clive Martin, then Lord Mayor. And the third one is a beef eater, as was stated in our Glass Cellars newsletter issued a few months later. And of course, Richard Lawman, then Prime Warden. They were joining the lookers on at the original presentation. Well, of course, the beef eater wasn't just a beef eater. He, in fact, was Raymond Stone, Yeoman Warder, Raven's Master of Her Majesty's Royal Palace and Fortress, the Tower of London. Now, in July, when I had not much to do, I thought about the presentation and I thought about the Ravens. So I put the notes under my arm and walked to the tower, met this chap standing on the grass behind his wire to keep the tourists off, and said, "This is what I'm thinking of. Are you interested?" And he picked up his phone, phoned his pals and said, "Take over, I'm going for lunch with a guest." So we had a very nice lunch within the tower, and I took him through the process, and he was thrilled to bits and said he'd be very, very happy to step in and present that part of the presentation that deals with his family of Ravens. And he's a lovely guy, and I think it's well received. He really was very interested in that. And then here we are with William presenting the letters patent to the then Master Robin. And the splendidly worded letters patent, beautiful English, records that Peter Llewellyn Gwyn Jones, Esquire, Principal King of Arms, David Hubert Boothby, Cheshire, that's a familiar name, Mr. Prime Warden, Clarence Serb, King of Arms, and Thomas Woodcock, Esquire, Norroy and Ulster, King of Arms, affixed their seal to this letters patent, and I quote the text: "On the 25th day of July, in the 58th year of the reign of our Sovereign Lady Elizabeth II, in the year of our Lord 2009. That was a mere 335 years since the receipt of our first charter. Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, and Master. Again, thanks indeed to our consultative group members who made it all happen. And some of their attending, I think, so many thanks once more. And a final farewell. Thank you very much. I'll have to take questions in a moment. Thank you.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
John,
Well done, John.
on the screen now. Really, really wonderful.
Well, I hope that was helpful for you, Master. I enjoyed doing it. Thank you.
Well, more than helpful, because there was certain things in there which I was far from aware of, like the globe with the route of the communication fiberglass cable.
Right.
What?
Fiberglass.
Did you lay some of the cable, Master?
Not on that occasion, no.
Just wondered, yeah. No, it's fascinating when you look back, and I was a bit worried to start with because I thought everybody knows the coat of arms, so what am I going to tell them? And so we dug back and we got a bit of history there. Thank you very much. So if there's any questions, I'll try and answer them.
Yes.
How long did it all take from the moment of conception of the idea to the final granting?
No.
3 months, I think.
Really?
The first idea was in Bill Cook's year, was in March 2009. And we had it approved by the court in September 2008, in September 2009. So from 2009, we got it granted, and off it went.
Wonderful.
No, it's a very unique thing. It's very good to be able to have a look. And because of that, we concentrated on the impact and the work ethic of the consultative group. And I say daily emails are flying. The fact we only met twice was quite minor because we were at it all the time between us. And Edgar Mobbs was a member of that group, as you know. And he very kindly, within about 12 months of completion of the project, very kindly gave that plate to each member of the consultative group. And I think the clerk knows it's known as the Mobbs plate, the Edgar Mobbs plate in the treasures of the company. And yet something else.
John, I seem to remember that there was a big discussion about the colour of the ravens.
Oh, absolutely, yes, massive discussion. Yeah, I think they went from December through to about March, I think. Yes, that's right.
It was,
Yeah.
They were too dark, too light, too what?
Oh, it was a silly colour, wasn't it? You see, that's the trouble. Fancy having mauve ones, you know. So yes.
The real problem was, if you recall, that we would dearly have loved black ravens, but somebody else had them.
That's right, absolutely. That's one of the things, yeah. But we wanted the company colours throughout anyway. So.
Oh no, I mean it would have been nice to have had black ravens, but you know, such is life. And I think it's a wonderful way that you've sort of rationalised it, because it's a very odd colour.
I remember we had one major problem. We went back to the original coat of arms, which of course had 1664 on it. And we had the idea originally of having a yacht on the top. And of course, yachts have numbers. So 1664 on the yacht would have continued the link. But of course, the Windsor Herald immediately said no dates are allowed at all. So that squashed that one absolutely flat very quickly.
But also, that was the only time when the consultative group were not unanimous. That was a crest that they didn't like. We had nothing else to offer to get to the court for them to see the progress to date. And then, of course, John Thorpe, bless him, was doing his homework over Christmas and resolved it in an amazing way. So thank you, Edgar. Very helpful, yeah.
John, can I throw a couple of questions in?
Yes, indeed. Nice to see you.
Good to see you. Did I pick up from your talk that you came across 67 uses of glass?
Yep.
Is that an official number or just from this project?
No,
is
that
it
was
widely used?
No, that wasn't from anything official. I think we sat round and sort of chatted as a group and said, well, you know, what else they're used for, etc., etc. I mean, one might be able to find out where that list is resting, probably in the College of Arms in a deep dungeon somewhere. But yes, that was the one. It surprised us when we found there's such a large use, actually, and woke us up to the fact that we are not an old-fashioned company. We're right with everything, leading the world in almost every sphere, which is exciting.
Fantastic. And then just a second question, and I remember the ceremony and everything quite clearly, actually. When you look at what has been created and you compare it to the other 100 or so arms across the livery companies, what's your view on how much is embedded in ours versus perhaps plainer versions on perhaps some of the older liveries?
Well, can I first say that they are far the opposite of plainer. There are some extremely complicated golden robes, marvelous floral. There's a mass of colour and everything else.
Okay.
But you might think in answering your question that I'm biased, but I'm not. I think if you ask every company to do what I've just done, I think you'll find there aren't many who've built it up in the way we have at every step. I think they just looked at a crown perhaps and the master's robe possibly and a couple of animals, and that's about it. Now that's very, very rude of me to say that. So if anyone's listening who can better it, that's super. But we really did, I think, fairly uniquely build up so much on the depth there. Thanks so much. Yeah.
It does. It comes across as fully loaded, fantastic in terms of the conversations that come from it. So
Yeah,
well done.
absolutely. Well, by the time you finish talking of it, you described the whole industry, haven't you?
Thank you.
You have indeed. I can add that I have another. I will take a photograph for you, John, but I've just been down to get something. One or two people have already seen this, but
Lovely. That is super. Well done.
now that is a cross stitch.
Oh, it's cross-stitched. I couldn't see what it
Cross
was.
stitched.
Wow.
My aunt, who is my father's third sister, decided that once she'd seen the coat of arms, which I pointed out to her, she was going to cross stitch it, and she did.
Fantastic.
I have the patterns somewhere in the house of the pattern that she made. She did one for a picture and one for a fire screen, but she was so glad after she'd done the picture that she hadn't chosen to do the fire screen. Now, it was interesting because it is signed with her name on it, dated December, yes, 2010. And she gave it to me at the family Christmas party in December 2010.
Oh, how fantastic.
And unfortunately, she passed away in the February of 2011.
Oh,
So
it's a lovely thing to keep, isn't it?
it's a huge legacy, and many members of the company that have been to the house have always enjoyed looking at it. And one day, perhaps we can get it replicated onto a cushion or something, as I have the pattern. But that's another project that to be added to the list of things to do.
I think that should form a glass seller's pillow system.
Yes, quite.
Pillow, yeah.
If I can add that Paul has also been instrumental on a number of occasions of us, some of us at least, eating our coat of arms on the top of a cake.
Oh, yes, yes.
How true.
Eating the coat of arms.
A beautiful cake, which I think Paul has a very good cake maker down the road from him somewhere.
Oh, they're up in North London in Bartlett.
Well, you don't happen to have a photograph of your cake?
I'll find one for you. I'll find the one we gave to John Wayne for his birthday.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
In fact, I had one with the company coat of arms and the Corporation of London, two separate ones for Linda Raven and Barry
That's
Owen
really smart.
Smith's Freedom of the City of London.
Brilliant.
Let me just look at John Wayne.
Good.
Yeah, very nice cakes.
So, Linda, have you still got your cake then?
And I've eaten it.
Oh, no.
There we are. There's the cake.
Oh dear, it's gone funny.
Pictures, they're lovely. Yeah,
Oh, there we are. Yeah, lovely.
Wonderful.
Fantastic.
we've got pictures. Yeah,
That was John Wayne's cake.
Yeah.
That was done for his 90th birthday. I think I can probably find Linda and Barry's cake. You give me.
Yeah, Mary.
Yeah.
I'm doing the time.
I think it was really rude of Linda to actually admit to eating it. I mean, this is an heirloom.
That's right.
I've got a picture of it, but the cake was lovely.
I was going to say, I fear many of us ate it, Master.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, I'm sure I wasn't the only one eating it.
You weren't, Linda. Don't feel intimidated.
Here you go.
It's yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Very good. Aren't they lovely?
They're lovely. Yes.
Oh, that's a black raven. You see.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and as I'm a raven, it suited me.
Certainly did.
So the coat of arms have been replicated on numerous occasions for various reasons.
Yeah, that's right. It's nice to have it so thoroughly used, isn't it? Super.
Well, and the other thing now, John, and bless you, is we've now got it recorded, and it will go. The story will go onto YouTube, so
Oh, right.
members of the company can see it, and we as members can point people to the story of our coat of arms without them having to read it.
Oh, brilliant. That's good.
You're now a digital asset, John. I think we call it.
Yeah, sounds great.
So we're the past master and digital asset.
I can have DA after my name now. You know, love it. Yeah.
We have
Getting
to start.
scary now.
Well, I hope you've got anti-hacking security on your
Oh,
name as
for
well.
goodness sake, I'm sure we have.
Cyber secure.
Yeah, that's the word.
Can
You
I
might
just
have-
ask one little question?
Mice.
Yes, Tony.
Where is the Grant of Arms now, physically?
The grant of arms is in the Guildhall vaults.
Thank God for that, because I've been looking for it in the vault.
No.
I had quite a little bit of an adventure, and having found the charters, and then we couldn't find the grant of arms.
That's right.
But the grant of arms had not been put with the glass cellars pieces.
Yeah.
It was in miscellaneous. But I have since asked, and they've confirmed that they've actually put all of them together
Oh,
in
good.
the same place.
Oh, that's a weight off my mind.
Yeah, I'm sure it was mine too when people said we'd lost it, because we got the box, but we hadn't got
That's
the
right.
contents of the
Yeah,
box.
yeah.
You might all be interested that going back through the minutes of the company right the way back, I picked up that on the 20th of March 1800, the clerk had been approached by the Office for Registering Armorial Bearings, and we had paid a fee for about 2 years to keep it going and then stopped. And then on the 2nd of November 1911, the London County Council approached the company saying they had no record of any receipt of license fees in respect of the use of armorial bearings. So we paid them a guinea for the next 5 years and stopped. Again, 31st of May 1926, a special court was held to consider our coat of arms, and the Chester Herald informed the master that no grant had been ever given. The license fee of 1 guinea per annum continued to be paid, except for 1931, but it was certainly recorded on the other years, 1929 to just before the war in 1939. And then it stopped again. On the 4th of April 1951, we were approached again by the College of Heralds, and we ascertained the cost of producing it at that time. The cost was £105, but if we needed supporters, an extra £55 was needed, plus 8 guineas for a line drawing. The application was deferred, but consideration was given to using it and buying it, but it was thought too expensive, and so no action was taken. And so we then come to the court meeting on June the 19th, 2008. And from there, it cost over £12,000. I think in 1951, to pay £105 might have been a better deal. Anyway, I thought it might be of interest to you all.
That was wonderful, Edgar. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. Typical glass sellers.
I think, however, that the age of the consultative group in 1951 might have been a little too young to get chopped up.
Yes.
I take it we don't have to pay any form of license fee today.
No. No.
Good, because I was going to say it might have stopped again and we suddenly find ourselves.
No, it's all ours. All ours.
Lovely.
There was another expense that was considered after the coat of arms. And I recall standing in the middle of the Guildhall with past master Philip Willoughby, who said, "But we've got to replace that thing up there," which was the original. And we decided in the end, and I don't think it has been replaced, that the middle was the same. And anyway, it was a long way up.
Yes.
The flag.
Yeah.
That's the banner, is it, Audrey?
No. In the Guildhall,
In the Great Hall.
every single livery company has
Ah,
got
of
a
course.
dance around it. And we have got the old one, which is actually the middle, really, of what we use now. And so, we kept saying, "Oh, crumbs, we've got to now get ourselves a new coat of arms and then somehow get it up to the top of the Guildhall." But in the end, we decided that you could hardly see it anyway, and that the middle was the same. And I don't think to this day anybody has ever replaced it. So, and now, why should we? Yeah.
John, may I ask another question of you, please?
So,
You translated in two different meanings our coat of arms terminology. Can you repeat for me? I know it's recorded, but I'd still like to write it down. The twin.
yes, indeed. Just 1 second. Sorry, I go to the 75 pages I have here. Just 1 second.
Only 75.
Yeah, no, it's a short version. Here we go, yes. Discordia Frangimur is the 17th century original translated as Discord Weakens.
Discord.
Discord Weakens. Okay. And within the glass trade, then of course everyone said, well, it means without breakage we're broke, which is very realistic.
I like that last one.
Hmm?
I like that last one.
Yeah, it's really, it's completely true too, of course. It's great.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, lovely. Thank you.
Pleasure. So we'll come round to your place and have a smashing time, Master.
Well, I was thinking that it enhances the recycling ability of glass containers.
True.
Really, absolutely wonderful. I was not involved at that time when you were shepherding the arrangements, but to hear it coming from the horse's mouth, if I may describe you as that in that manner, I think it's absolutely great.
Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was really lovely.
Yes, very good indeed.
Thank you very much.